Alright, the purpose of this video is to clear up some things on the season pass situation they're doing. Maybe you don't know the FAQ exists. Maybe you do know it exists and you just kind of quickly scrolled through it because you don't want to read like an entire article of text, I guess. Maybe you watched the trailer and you somehow missed a part where Mission Control literally said that it's free. Or you just went into the game after the update came out and you see the season terminal and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? So yeah, the point here is to clear up some of that stuff. I'll mainly be touching on the questions I believe are the most common, and this is coming from the perspective of someone who has been testing this update before experimental, basically. And you know, I'm the green driller man. Alright, first, probably most common question, is this actually free? Because maybe you saw them say that it's free like 50 times and you're like, okay, there must be a catch, right? There is none. It's legitimately free. There's nothing you can pay for. The funny money currency, I don't know why I refuse to call it what it's called. I don't know why I hate that name, but I'm calling it funny money. So when I say funny money, just know I'm referring it to that thing. You can't even get the funny money in any other way except from like the season pass itself, really. But I think it would be like a nice little idea to put in like a super rare funny buck you can find in the caves. That's like as rare as an error cube or bitter gem, just like a single one you just can pick up like it's a fossil and deposit and you get, boom, one of them. I think that would be like a fun idea they could do. Probably won't. But yeah, it's legitimately free. The second most common question is, what I assume to be most common is, are the items time limited? Are the cosmetics time limited? Is there a time gate? Because that is definitely a huge problem, right? They're not. They're not time gated at all. You can get all the cosmetics during the season pass, and after the season pass is over, all the cosmetics will be thrown into various stuff. Like a cargo crate, a helmet, and maybe matrix cores as well. I know some people are mixed on the matrix cores part. Some people don't like that. And I can kind of sympathize with that. So let that be known. Maybe the devs will change their mind on putting even more stuff into matrix cores. Probably won't. The way I see this is that, hey, if we'll get another like cool thing we can find like cargoes or crates or helmets in the missions, then I'm all for it. And on top of that, cargo crates and helmets will not be just resource dumps. At least not after a season passes and all that. There you go. They're not actually time limited. Although the season pass will let you get the items like... Actually, it's arguable if it's faster. Maybe it could be faster to get them from crates if your luck is really good and you get like a crate and helmet almost every mission and all that. But that's a different thing. That's a different topic. Moving on to a third question that I assume is kind of common. How long does it take to complete the season? Keep in mind, Season 1 is planned to be one of the longer ones. Like maybe even the longest season that they will do. The other seasons should be shorter, or at least that's what they're aiming for. We'll see what happens. We're still just on the first thing, right? So what they're aiming for with Season 1 is something like 100 hours. Like it would take 100 hours of gameplay to complete it. I assume they take into account the possible failed and completed missions and all the season challenges and all that. And there you go. The 100-hour thing is kind of vague. Like they don't explain how they got to that. Like 100 hours of Hazard 5 missions completed, or 100 hours of Hazard 2 missions completed and failed, 100 hours with season challenges, or 100 hours without. Like, yeah, that's like the question. Because maybe when they say 100 hours, they mean it with like season challenges themselves. Maybe I'm someone who wants to farm this thing as fast as possible, and for that person it will be like 250 hours. Currently, I'm recording this audio stuff when it's still experimental, and currently it's taking a lot longer than that. But they did promise to adjust it before release, so we'll see how that goes, right? It shouldn't be unbearable, I mean. Another question, some of you probably know that Ghost Ship Games got acquired by this thing called, hold up. To me they're THQ Nordic, but they're called something else. Embracer Group used to be THQ Nordic. I mean, they're still the same thing. They're still the same company. And THQ Nordic is one of the most offhand like publishers. One of the only publishers that I could say is like a really good publisher. So no, they have nothing to do with this. And if that's not enough, just know they have been working on this season system since early 2021. We're like at the end of this year. And they got acquired by them somewhere in the middle of 2021. So this was already happening. This was not even influenced by them. They were working on this from the beginning of 2021 in collaboration with Coffee Stain. And I have one more question written down here, which is, will all future season passes be free? Like, is this the only free season pass to give us like a demo? Are they gonna change their mind in the middle of this stuff? Is it actually going to stay free? The way they put it is that for it to be paid is not in their plans. It's not their goal. To be like, no bullshit, 100% honest, this one is a little dodgy. I'm trying to be as honest as possible. They say, Ghost Ship Games claims that it's not part of their current business plan. Yeah, the wording is safe. It's a bit something, but they claim that they will not do paid stuff with the season pass. And I trust that, but you know, it's like, I guess we will see. That one is a bit dodgy, I have to admit. I came in here trying to, like, you know, what is this video gonna be called? At this state, I've wanted to call this video something like Damage Control Update 35. But this one is like something I wish I could defend, but no, it's too dodgy. So the official answer for this one is that monetizing this mechanic is not in their objectives. That it's not currently in their business plans. The zero bullshit answer, 100% honesty answer, is that it's free for now. I wanted to say for as long as possible, but for now. Just the word current is just raising like 50 red flags in my brain. I don't think they will make it paid. Alright, this is my personal opinion answer. I don't think they will make it paid. I don't think they'll do it. Just, that fucking current. You had me there. You almost, I cannot let that slip. I'm sorry. So, after hearing all this, either you still have some questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I can't promise I'll answer everything. Maybe you'll ask like the same question the 50th time and I'll just be bored of it. Maybe you'll ask like an actual good question. If you're just gonna complain in there, I will read your comment, but I will not answer likely. And with that, here's one complaint I've already seen, and I'm predicting to see more of it once this update is out, which is the argument that the season pass system on its own is very manipulative. And I would agree with that, but none of the items are time limited. So after Season 1, once we reach Season 2 eventually, you should be able to get all the Season 1 items just from playing the game, and all the Season 2 items from the Season Pass. Same when Season 2 passes to Season 3, like in the far future, because, you know, haha, funny slow devs joke. The far future Season 3, we will be able to get Season 1 and 2, like, cosmetics just from playing the game, and then Season 3 cosmetics will be from the Season Pass. It seems like a ton of stuff will stack up, but that will kind of make the crates, helmets and shit, like, unkillable. But I guess if people are looking for, like, one specific cosmetic, and they will not get it for 50 years... Oh, that's like a future concern. I hope they looked into it long term. Right? You guys did, right? On the surface, the Season Pass system, when you ignore all the overly monetization bullshit that all the other companies have done, the system idea has been abused to fucking death, obviously. And the devs, they want to fix the Season Pass system. They see that the overly monetization aspect of it as a huge flaw. What reassures me on the, will future Season Passes be free thing, even though that one word gives me a red flag. So yeah, if you still like really hate it after all this, then either you associate Season Passes too much with Battle Royales, I kind of get that, I guess, or you're just not looking for your mind to be changed, in which case I literally can't help you. So okay, I want to bring up a few of my own points. This is where I kind of rant part. part of the video where I rant a bit. The format of calling these seasons, I don't think I'll ever call them seasons. Just so you know, I'll probably still call like update 37, update 37, and not season 3. I'll probably be forced to calling them both things, because I don't want to let go of the update thing. Because I always saw the update number as like a cool badge they like kept wearing, like, hey, we're like 35 updates in, dude. We have a ton of shit for you to check. And another point, another thing I've noticed, and maybe like 1 or 2 of you have as well, is that the season pass system is kind of like a better version of assignments, because I'm not forced to play one mission while my friends are forced to play another mission. At least in this case, I get to choose from 2 things to do. Lastly, you've stuck around this long, like the 3 of you probably want to know what I think of this update myself. I'll try to be fair about it too. I'll give you my early impressions, like when I first saw this update during closed testing, what my impressions were then, and I'll tell you like real quick what I think of it now. So when I first booted it up, when I saw the season pass thing, I was laughing my ass off. I already kind of knew it was a thing, kind of, sort of, but I laughed my ass off. I memed the ever-living hell out of it for the first few hours, but I didn't hate it. I didn't want to admit it that I kind of liked it, and I still don't want to admit that, because season passes are such a tainted name these days. And as for the mission itself, I was really weirded out by it. I've experienced a ton of video game updates, a ton of like TF2, Halloween shit, I've experienced that, and I wasn't weirded out by any of that. Some of the Halloween stuff was weird, but I thought it was really cool. In this case, I was just weirded out the whole time. I didn't hate it, I was really weirded out. I was digging the alien tech stuff, and I kind of figured out why that was happening, because at the time, my perspective on Ghost Ship Games and DRG was pretty specific. And, you know, being the guy that went through like 100 builds of this game, hundreds of builds, I kind of built this specific outlook on the developers and how Ghost Ship Games probably works. I mean, that's something like I kind of have to do as the DRG historian or whatever. And this update kind of completely shattered that perspective, at that moment at least. Them adding like a new race that is it trying to invade Hawkseas as well, or collect data from it, whatever. That's something I thought they would never do anymore. I thought they would just keep adding funny bugs and maybe like DRG equipment. Like I was under the assumption after seeing all the builds and all the stuff and being with DRG for as long as I have been, I just thought that they would never add anything like that. And boom, there you go. I was just weirded out like, what? Am I playing DRG anymore? And the season pass thing, because the progression on everything else is like different, like stands out. Even something as simple as your player level, like the blue level, there's like 3 things you have to fill out for that to go up. Even that is like a little different from most games. Matrix cores, you have to do like this whole weird, you have to like promote your dwarf, and then you have to go on a deep dive, and then you have to find a machine event to fill out the empty ones. That one has like a weird whole progression thing, and then just adding something that pretty much everyone is doing, just a season pass, also like contradicted with my beliefs, my previous beliefs. Although my beliefs were shattered, I just realized that I had to pick up most of the pieces back up and just merge in that, hey, now they will probably do weirder shit. But I have to say, despite that, this update feels like the first like true 1.0 update to me. That might sound weird. Yes, like 32, 33, they were big updates. But it felt like those could have easily been like updates part of the early access. I don't know, it feels like this is a new era for DRG. Now jumping to how I feel now about this update. I still feel a little weird about this when I think about it. I'm not that weirded out anymore. I like this update. This is a good update. Some of the weapons are questionable, at least in the experimental they are, but I think the best weapon in this update will probably end up being the sludge pump. I don't know. But that's all. That's all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed the update. Can't believe I'm saying I was actually excited for this season pass. I mean, really, for us veterans, the season pass thing is just going to be a bonus. We didn't need any more incentives to play the game as it is. For us, it's just a bonus, really. We're just getting more stuff.